So we'll just take it from there. How are things down Aberdeen, Peter?
Aberdeen is absolutely sweltering this morning. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm doing a morning mile each day. I went out and done the mile, no problem. Faster. Don't take a dog, so it holds you back. I got so much done. I got things done from the van. I confirmed a new employee on the phone to him this morning, give him the good news. He's delighted. The phone since I got up has never stopped ringing because I know it goes ting, it goes to the call centre. And then I'm going for a bike ride after this.
Brilliant. Sounds like the ideal day, Peter. And it's when the weather's good. Morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen and Peter.
How are things in Solihull?
Sort of humid, overcast, and it didn't rain enough last night. It did rain, but not enough.
Oh, we were promised thunderstorms today, but it's about 20 odd degrees and it's sunny, so we'll take that. All good. Now, we're unprepared, so the first thing we've got to talk about is obviously the news of the week, the news of the year, the news of the century. So it's over to our correspondent for GB News, Mr. Peter Stewart. How's it going, Peter?
Well, GB News has taken the country by storm, and it looks as though they've matched and beaten Sky News, if not more. The BBC News for the ratings. However, people will say there'll be a lot of people looking in to have a nosy, especially Sky and BBC. They'll all be having a nosy to see if they can get a job later when their ratings plunge. Now, it's not without problems. The set's not been right. The sound's not been right. But let me tell you, the atmosphere's not right. The advertisers who went on, because of backlash from a minority of people saying that they're going to set a campaign up, they've got a website, so they push for people not to use them because they say it's a right wing. Well, from what I've seen, it's been balanced, and you know what I'm like. It's been balanced. They've got both point of views on. Now, the demographics of it, I was looking at it, a lot of older people watching it, and the consensus so far has been good. But here's the problem: Vodafone, Octopus, who do energy, they've pulled out under the pressure. Well, I was just about to take a Vodafone contract, and I'm not giving them at the moment. I've got Octopus. I'll be looking at that too. So, and there are many people. Remember what I told you? There's going to be a divided country. There's going to be a them, and there's going to be them, and whoever advertises with whom, that's who we'll be buying from. And that's what our country has came to. And that's Peter's look at the news.
Well, the only, I mean, it's a startup, so you've got to give them some latitude to actually get themselves organised and sorted out. And I did watch it for an hour the other night. It's different. I'll grant you that. It's different. It has a different perspective. And I'm going to keep an open mind, Peter, and see what happens with it. I've got to say that at the moment I would prefer Sky or BBC, but we're all different, and that's what makes it all work. Have you had a chance to take a look at it, John?
I haven't, and I won't be. I'm not really bothered.
Okay.
I get what little news I care about comes from either BBC News or Birmingham.
Right.
Birmingham, whatever it's called. Yes. Well, that's how much attention I pay to it.
Well, one of the things they've got, John, they've got regional correspondents. I've never heard of any of them. and they've got them coming in live from the towns they're in. Yeah, and it's not going to be a rolling news program. I've actually watched it quite a bit, and then I'm going to choose what I like, because Dan Wooten's on at night. I've watched so much of him. Now, even Sheila said he's quite good, him. Now, just let me tell you about the co-op. The co-op, remember before, somebody within the marketing department had said, give GB News a hard time. They says, we won't be advertising you. So Andrew Neil had said, hey, that's no problem. You're banned from advertising. Then the top people come back and said, whoever said that wasn't right. Co-op have taken it, an advert. They've had a backlash, and the co-op have said, doesn't matter what program we advertise on, right? What their views are and everything about life, we advertise for customers, and they've got three things that they value for their advertising. And I think it's been very unfair that they've been automatically pointed at and said, yeah, you're bad. And Andrew Neil said to the octopus guy on Twitter, he said, hey, no problem. If you've taken that decision, you won't mind when we start a campaign to boycott you then. That was him on Twitter.
Fair point, but news programs shouldn't be telling us to boycott anybody.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to, and it's backlash already, because people are saying, Specsavers, people have said on Twitter, used to for 20 years, I'll be going elsewhere now.
Yeah. So, a new entrant to the news arena, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It is. So, right. Okay. So, given that I've not had time to prepare, we're going to take the news from the BBC News website, and I'm going to go over there now, and we're going to look at one story in particular. Now, this is the thing about headlines. The headline is COVID epidemic growing across England, says the study, and that's the headline. Yeah. And then you get down to paragraph. However, tentative signs in the latest daily data suggest growth may be beginning to slow. So, which is correct? I mean, we know that variant D accounts for 90% of all new cases at the moment, and like any virus, it's spread throughout the country again. But our mindset was fixed in England to actually be free of regulations next Monday. That's not going to happen, is it, John?
No, and I don't think it will happen on the 19th of July either. So, which is the next date.
Scotland, 3 weeks added on to the time, Peter? Yeah, do you know something? I don't care anymore. I just do what I do, and that's it. I don't go out my way to get COVID. Yeah. I even went to the pub last week and sat there, and it was horrible. I don't know the answer to it. But let me tell you what happened yesterday. I gave the guy an interview. I brought up COVID. Okay, it's okay. Cut it. I brought up COVID and I asked the question, have you had the jab? And he went, and then I says, I'd prefer you to have it. He says, would it mean not getting a job? I goes, no. I says, I'd prefer you, but if you don't want it, then that's up to you. But I said, what we have got is you go into people that are vulnerable and things like that. And the tread was a balancing act of what I was saying, yeah. And so that was a difficult situation. I just wanted to, because I had my vax badge and everything on, you see. And so it was just interesting to see these answer. It wasn't a trick question either. No, that was a straight question. I mean, we're now being told that if we are vaccinated, we can travel. Really? Yeah. When did that come out? Yesterday. It's not been officially announced. This is let's fly a kite and see what happens. Okay. But it's been said that if you've been vaccinated twice and you've got
piece of paper to prove it, then you can go abroad, come back, and
Okay.
not quarantine. I think that's correct.
And
But
then the people that haven't had the vax, they come and wave you off, and you sing, "I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know if I'll get back again."
right, that was by Peter, Paul and Mary, and
Yeah.
it's a song from the 60s, if you remember music, which leads me to my next question, Peter. I did a show with Fonz on Monday, a music show,
Yeah.
broadcasting from Be Live,
Yeah.
with music in the studio. So we're good to go with the music show on Fridays being from Be Live and not OBS. And
Because I
that
was
means,
watching you.
right, okay, it worked, didn't it?
But I didn't. One of the problems I've got, I'll tell you this one. I don't know if you're live now or it's been a past broadcast. It really is difficult and it's hard for explain to you, because I'm listening and I'm saying, is this a live one or not? And it's not right. So you saying to listen to it, I would have to come in to be live now.
No, not to listen to it, to be on the show.
Okay. That is a problem for me. I've got to tell you that. There's so much stuff lying there and trying to find a live one at the time. Because you'll see my past comments. Is this live? I couldn't work it out.
I saw your
Just-
comments. Basically, if you can see me, it's live. If you can't see me, then it's recorded.
Right.
Yeah, because Mixcloud don't store the video; they only store the sound. So,
Was you doing the quiz on Monday?
yeah,
Corinda, that's why I don't listen, because I've got to tell you, I don't like a quiz. That's why I don't.
okay,
Come on Monday. I don't like Mondays. I'll tell you what, I don't like Mondays.
okay, fine. Well, the thing is that we're all different, and it doesn't mean we have to like everything that somebody else does. So,
Yeah.
no worries on that. And John's yawning. Yeah, John, what should we talk about?
Yeah, come on, John.
COVID. I'm very happy to talk about COVID. The news given by Buffuno was quite a dramatic effect on my own family, because Sarah and Tom have already had their wedding cancelled 4 times.
Yeah.
And they're due to get married on the 7th of July, the 4th of July, 7th of July. I don't know why I keep saying it, the 4th of July.
Yeah.
But they've had the call from Warwick County Council. They're getting married in Stratford upon Avon, who Stephen knows well because he used to live just outside it.
Yeah.
Right in the town centre, at the registry offices, which is next door to William Shakespeare's birthplace.
Yeah.
They can only have 2 guests and themselves,
Oh,
because the 2-metre rule will be applied in the room.
right.
And that's it. So we have said to them, take the 2 mums and just get it over and done with.
Right. And then have another celebration. Is that costing money,
We've
John?
got a celebration going on at a place outside Stratford in a venues field, and it is an outdoor celebration.
Yeah.
But no singing or dancing. You can have, the bride and groom can have 1 dance and that is it. And we have to have table service as well for a barbecue.
Oh dear. John, is that costing money?
Of course it's costing them money. I mean,
No.
they're paying for themselves. I mean, they've been living together for 8 years. It's not
No,
like it.
what I meant is, if they had to cancel things, it's actually physically costing money.
Oh yeah, in the past it's cost them money, yeah, because they had celebrations because the wedding was cancelled. They were told previously it's not going to happen. Yeah, not. You can only have 4 people, which is this time. Now, previously we're just told it's cancelled. Yeah, which meant they then had to cancel the celebratory thing, and I've just hit my hand on a cupboard that's not normally there.
Tommy, do you think this will have consequences of the voting next time?
Sorry.
Do you think it'll cost them votes next time round if they don't sort it all out?
I'm still of the opinion that Keir Starmer would not have done a better job.
No,
Therefore, I can't see how it's going to cost anybody any votes other than votes from people who have no brains. Yeah.
yeah. I just don't know the answer to it now. I feel in my little area that it's not here now. I mean, I go to the shops, I go out on my bike, I still distance from people. I try my best, I always gel my hands, and I wouldn't get in the coffee shop. So I'm sorry, we're only taking Visa cards, whatever you call them, payment. But that's okay. I says, can you take this pound coin tip? Oh yeah, put it in there.
The COVID change has also had an effect on the allotments because we had arranged our AGM for the 11th of July. Yeah. So now it's the 19th. The kids break up on the 22nd, and Birmingham is still old fashioned and still has its shut down fortnight, which is on the 24th through to the 8th or the 9th. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that means we can't really delay it till the 24th, 25th weekend because loads and loads of people are going to be away on holiday.
So,
We can't delay it 4 weeks like he's done because that 4 weeks would take us to the last day of the fortnight's breakdown. So we're now looking at, do we delay it 5 weeks? But who knows who will be on holiday in 5 weeks' time.
So you called for a fortnightly shutdown. They used to do that up in Aberdeen, but because we don't do it here now.
Well, the biggest employer in Solihull is JLR.
Yes.
JLR still do that.
Yeah.
Many other factories still do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know I've actually spent a night in Solihull? 2 nights in Solihull at different times. Did you know that?
You're lucky.
I love travelling. Well, we would have loved to get our caravanette type thing, what do you call it, but camper van, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, I'm really glad I waited for my new van because I got a bargain with that price. I don't know what's wrong with it. And it's brand new. And what a saving. What a saving.
Have you bought it or PC? Well, the equivalent of PCP.
Oh, it's hire purchase. It's mine.
Oh, so you actually own it at the end of the
it's mine.
payment.
It's going to be mine. The reason I've done that is because I know it's brand new. I know we are going to look after it. And it's ours. No second hand, no engine changes, no clocked miles, and it's actually cheaper long term. So that's what we're doing.
I've been looking for a replacement car. I think you know that anyway.
Yes.
I can't find anything I like at a reasonable price. And I think I'm going to end up buying a car over 5 years on the basis that whatever I buy this time round is going to have to be my retirement car.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to. On the other hand, I've had this car. It'll be 9 in December, and it was 6 months old when I had it, and it's still only done 51,000 miles.
Well, don't you get an electric bike with a little trailer to go to Lidl's?
We've got a guy who comes to the allotments on a push bike with a trailer.
Right.
So he'll have all of his kit or his lawnmower or whatever in the trailer of the push bike.
It's
He doesn't go too far, but you know, it suits him down to the ground.
Yeah. Do you know, remember I've been telling you I've been feeling not great. I was exhausted all the time. And it just occurred to me the other day, see, since I've had my vaccinations, I'm not tired anymore.
All right. I wish it'd have that effect on me because I am.
Peter,
No, I was just dead beat all the time. It just clicked yesterday. I went, oh, yes, Steve.
I thought it was just me. I mean, normally before the vaccine, 9 o'clock at night, my batteries would run down and a bit for the day. Now I'm awake all day around, which is a change. It seems to have cleared some blockages somewhere, and energy flows throughout the day.
Well, I've got that feeling too because I was up at 4, surfing YouTube with earphones on, so Sheila couldn't hear me next door. Got down, ignored the dogs. They look up at me and they don't. This is, oh, he'll give us nothing at this time. They go and they put their heads down again. And then I went in and I looked at all the dishes and I said, right, dishes into the dishwasher, things that I need to clean, done, right. Now, what's next? I'll tell you what's next. Let's make a loaf of bread. Got my loaf stuff out. This is well before 7. Bang, made it up in the bread maker, and I said, right, what can I do now? And I got myself ready, and then I went out and done my mile morning walk. I feel
My
so.
bread maker's still in the box, Pete.
What's that, John?
I said my bread maker's still in the box.
Oh no. But I made bread about 3 weeks ago, and I made so much, and then 3 batches of different meat. And I'm just coming to the end of it now. But things have been. I don't know if I told you in the diet in the club I'm in. If you got anything to tell us, you usually tell things. I went for my photograph for my eyes once a year. They take a picture inside your eye and things. And I said to the girl, so what can you see? She says, well, look at this. She showed me the 2 pictures. She says, that's last year. Now look at all those white dots. It goes, what's that? She says, that's the start of diabetic complications in your eye. I went, really? Yes. She goes, but look at this one. She goes, I don't know what you've been doing, but you've only got one now.
Brilliant.
And that's because of my sugar level.
Yeah.
I've just put Nick onto it. I've given him the details. Because he's the same as me just now.
Yeah.
Low carb.
I mean, certainly my energy levels are higher now, I've got to say, and it can't just be coincidence. I think obviously the virus affects us all, or the vaccination affects us all differently. But I'm just grateful that I've got my oomph 24/7.
Yeah, the boosters give us the boost.
Well, that's it. I mean, we'll probably get another booster in the autumn, won't we? Because it's not going to go away. There's never going to be a right time for the government to take any action at all.
Hey, but talking about facts, we've got to mention this. Dr. Fauci. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, right, you need to look it up. So all this time, this platform we on, if we'd said certain things, we would have been kicked off. I'm still not going to mention it, right?
Right.
Because of a tablet, okay, that a certain person took as well. Guess what? They're starting to give it out. Second thing, my friend got that tablet last year when he was very ill, the same tablet. He's recovered that week, but he's telling me that he's being pensioned off from his work. But they found out that Dr. Fauci had gave money to go to some institution, then that institution paid money to the Wuhan Clinic, I believe, to do some experiments for coronavirus. It's all over the internet. Amazing.
Okay. When we got back last night, there was a program on BBC Two which was about the development of the vaccines, which was absolutely fascinating. If you it's on BBC iPlayer now, and it's worth watching to hear the true story of the people involved in actually creating all the different vaccines and how they actually work together. For the first time ever, there was international cooperation between companies.
Yeah.
And they shared the results with each other. They cheered each other's victories. They helped each other and just simply worked together to get the vaccine out in such a short space of time.
Yes.
And absolutely fascinating story.
Yeah.
So that's on my player.
And that's why we should always be Great Britain, because we're all together. We can do things better.
Yep. Yeah. So this is time. Are we talking about Nicola this week, or do we give her a week off?
You know, I don't even listen anymore.
Okay.
I don't. As Sheila and I
The
don't
weak
think so.
cranky. The
Ah,
weak cranky. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
The wee
But-
Jimmy cranky.
You have probably never heard of Alex Belfield, have you?
No.
So he's an ex-BBC journalist. Well, worked BBC, and I've been watching for a year. He's been hounded 5 times, arrested, no charges, his house changed, and he's now taken them to court, the police and everything in Nottinghamshire. And tonight there was a national journalist who keeps trying to put an interdict on him. Tonight, he reveals who he is after a year because he's never been charged. And he says, I couldn't mention him before, but I'm mentioning him tonight because I'm suing him. And it's coming on at 5 o'clock. Lovely jubbly.
Okay. And in other good news, Stephen Silk told us he was on a course this morning. It must have been a very short course, is all I can say.
Right.
Because
Yes.
good morning.
Morning. How are we?
He's been watching GB News. That's what he's been doing.
Have you, Stephen? Have you seen GB News?
No, and I won't be. I like my
Right.
fascists a bit better presented than the way they're doing it.
But you haven't seen it.
No intention to, mate. No intention.
See, don't you think if 2 people go to the pictures and say, what a horrible film, wow, but another guy says, that's the best film I've ever seen. Do you not think it's a good idea to see it yourself?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're quite right, Pete. Yeah. So I should expect that a fascist running a TV program is something I should be even interested
Wow.
in watching.
So you're not going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say,
No.
let's look at this. Wow.
No.
And that's the
no.
problem
But
with the country. Condemned and executed without a court.
Peter, it's like Marmite. 50% of the population won't be even the least bit interested.
Over 50%.
That-
Because the ratings, just to let you know, Stephen, the ratings are trouncing the BBC and Sky.
Right. On to the news, Stephen.
Who cares?
Bothered. Yeah.
Oh,
Right. We've just been talking about COVID vaccinations,
Yeah.
and both Peter and I observed that we've had a lot more energy since the vaccinations. Have you felt similar?
I can report, you know how we're all going through cognitive decline as we advance in our years. I can report that my cognitive ability has taken a bit of a jump. You know, I feel more mentally alert, if that's not too silly a thing to say.
No.
But, I hadn't associated it with the vaccine, but why not?
yeah, well, I've certainly felt a difference. As I say, it clicked yesterday in the other show, and I thought, and because I was dropping like a knife. Again, shut.
Yeah, I get that, mate. I get that.
But there you go.
So, has anything happened? What have I missed?
Not a lot.
Has Peter blown a gasket yet, or is that my
I'm
job?
close, but not yet. So what's happened to the CSS course?
It started at 8 a.m. and I've got I'm what's known as a Caspio developer now. Caspio is a sort of low-code database application, and the training course it finished a bit early, so I was able to jump on. But I've got some great stuff out of it from the apps, because it's a really good system, and I currently use Gravity Forms on WordPress and all bits and bobs, and it's so much easier and simpler to use. So I'm moving forward with that now. And
Good.
I was just being trained on how to do the CSS thing, which I always get a little bit concerned with, but that's just an age thing.
Guys, do you know who keeps sending me emails? Nigel Botterill. He's not handled yet. John.
Yeah, from Academy, yeah.
For him, I have a rule. He goes straight to the bin.
He's actually looking to set up regional meetings
Uh-huh.
face to face. Yeah. In the early days, I did get. I mean, he took on Gemma Toner was the girl, and he bumped them all. Jay Allen, do you know him? You know
Yeah.
that name? He got bumped with him as well. So he took on a lot of them and then bumped them.
He had his office at the end of the road I live at the bottom of, Mr. Lockdrum. He's a Solihull resident.
Yeah. He's too much for me, to be honest with you.
As I said, I have a rule. If he sends me an email, it goes to the bin. I never see it.
Right, there's a football match taking place tomorrow. Who are you barracking for?
I'll get a coffee.
No, Peter. It
Because you say that.
it doesn't happen very often. I mean, in the old days, it used to happen regularly, and then the fights broke out, and God knows what else. And England haven't played Scotland for yonks. England are playing Scotland in Euro 20.
Draw, and it's going to be a bore match.
2-0
okay.
to England. Guaranteed. And that'll send the jocks home, which is fab.
We're going to get through to the quarterfinals and then get knocked out on penalties, but that's par for the course, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, England were brilliant the other night. Really, really pleased watching them. Very, very good performance. And Peter's frozen because it's obviously not his cup.
No, he's put his camera on fix mode. Stopped himself in the camera. He's not frozen. It's by choice.
I must admit, I haven't watched any other game on Euro 2020.
I've watched a couple.
I was surprised the French beat the Germans.
I think the Germans were too. Yeah, because they expect to carry all before them. And I think it came as a shock to the system to actually lose, especially to the French.
The Slovakians showed the Poles, even though they only had 20% possession, they still won.
And Wales did okay, didn't they?
Oh yeah. They're yeah. They should qualify for the next stage.
Basically, so long as you come third or better, you qualify, don't you? It's only the fourth place that gets knocked out. You can come back now, Peter. We've stopped talking
about football.
Oh no, let's not stop talking about. Let's talk about Ericsson. Did you see this morning's announcement?
No.
It's going to have an ICD fitted. That's a implantable cardioverter defibrillator. Yeah.
All right.
So if there's another attack, it automatically restarts his heart.
Oh dear.
He's also unlikely to ever play in Italy again because Italy has laws against playing sport if you have heart issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you hear my coffee machine?
Yeah.
Could you hear it?
No.
Oh, hey, I like that. What do you call that name of that, sir? Good.
Crisp.
Yeah.
I'm on crisp because they're digging a bloody great big hole outside because they're fitting new gas pipe to the road.
Yeah. Well, you can't hear anything, John, just to confirm that your crisp is working well.
Yeah, I can't hear anything either because I think they've stopped for their tea break at 10:30. Wagon across the road.
Okay, comment from Corinda just to prove that we're live. Hello.
Okay.
I suppose there would be 4 hellos now. Right.
Ask us questions, football related. So you're a big manufacturer of Coca-Cola, right?
Ooh.
And you put two bottles in front of the speaker that you pay a lot of money for. And the speaker takes them up, puts them aside, and said, "Drink water." How would you feel?
Yeah, it was Coca-Cola's water as well. And last night, the Heineken bottle was removed as well and put out of view.
By who?
Oh, I forget which one it was.
Oh, footballer.
Someone, Cristiano Ronaldo removed the two bottles, and then it was somebody else being interviewed last night who removed the.
Wow.
But it's a win situation for the sponsors, because if their assets are moved from screen, then that's a big story and they get even more publicity.
But the share price took a hit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Big hit, wasn't it, Stephen? Big hit.
I mean, they'll recover for sure. But if anybody had an idea to short Coca-Cola last night or whenever it was, they'd have made a bloody fortune. Because nobody would ever short Coke.
Coca-Cola got hit in Georgia as well when they moved the baseball out of it because of politics.
Move the Heineken.
Yeah.
Statement from Corinda. Corinda is saying, "I hate technology. It never does the job." Could you tell us a bit more, Corinda? Because you could be thousands of things.
Talking about bottle and bottles.
Yeah.
Okay. Who owns Coca-Cola? Who owns Coke these days?
Who is it?
I think it's that bloke that drives the old Volvo. What's his name? The richest man, second richest man in the world.
Is it Jack something? Yeah. Right. Okay. Latest Facebook innovation is going to. Well, have you heard of? Right. Who's on Clubhouse? I'm not. I don't have an iPhone.
No.
In that case, you'll be totally interested in the fact that Facebook launched their own version of Clubhouse yesterday, which is the ability to chat voice only with anybody you want, and a group of people. So you could actually give a talk on anything and get an audience in to ask live questions, but it's audio only. And Facebook are in love with it for the simple reason that doing audio costs less in bandwidth and storage than video.
Ah, right, okay.
Is it archived?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, to actually store an audio file, I mean, it's tuppence against a quid, isn't it?
Yeah, but did they actually they archive the conversations for future analysis? Do they?
I'm not. It's only released in the States at the moment, so we've not had a chance to try it in the UK. But it's Facebook copying somebody else and hopefully doing it better. Okay, Clubhouse shot themselves in the foot. Just to go, I'll have a rant for a change. On Android, okay, things not working on Android.
We blocked a post I made yesterday on a friend's request for help. She requested for where can I get online source for glasses with a -9. That's what's called a high index. There, I mean, mine is 3, yeah, and I thought mine was bad, but hers is 9. So in her thread, I said, "Oh, there is a specialist website who specialize, specialist business who have a website who specialize in high index lenses." And I put the link in, and Facebook said, "No, you're not going to post this. It's against
terms and conditions.
No community interests or words to that effect." You can actually see it on my. I actually snapped it. But the address was www.thinlenses.co.uk. I just cannot see how an optician's website is against community interests.
And you have no way of finding out because this is Facebook.
I could send Zuck zuckerfb.com an email, but I guess he probably wouldn't reply.
Yeah.
Well, no. I think the chance of
Video got new features which I live with. I'll be covering those this afternoon, but they're not. They're just they're not really new features. They're additional transitions.
so hot off the press, there will be an in-video show today at 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 a.m. Eastern.
I've started the video. There won't be one next week because I will have no internet in the afternoon next week.
Okay.
But we'll get to my tale of internet woes a bit later in the show if we've got time.
You've only got 18 minutes to go, John. If you've got a long story to tell, start now.
I've been having trouble with my 1 gig connection.
Ooh.
And it turns out that they sent a specialist engineer, and the specialist engineer measured all over the place, cabinet, etc. And it turns out, unsurprisingly, that the cable from the cabinet to my house, to the box outside my house, and then the cable from the box outside my house, little hole in the ground, have sort of failed basically. But it was installed in 1992 with the purpose of giving us cable TV by Birmingham Cable, who've been taken over, have been taken over, have been taken over, been taken over. So he organised a new cable to be pulled. So they pulled the new cable down there. Let me just get rid of this. The same engineer came back and didn't make any difference. So they sent a super engineer to come the next morning. So they was obviously quite concerned about it. And he measured, he looked at the cable and he said, this isn't the right kind of cable for what you've got. So they're coming on the 24th, which is next Thursday in the afternoon, and they're going to pull another cable. So I will be off in the afternoon next week, next Thursday. But so far, we've had we had 2 pre the cable pull visits. We had a cable pull from the cabinet to outside. A different team came the next morning because the team that pull the cable can't bring it across the garden. So a different team called a build team came to bring it across the garden. And we had to dismember some of my wall to allow them to come up behind the back of the wall. I've got like a dry stone wall at the front. An engineer came, another engineer came, and now we're going to start the whole loop again. It must have cost them a fortune so far. And they've given me 75 quid back last month, and I suspect they're going to have to do the same this month.
So going back to some interesting news, John. Warren Buffett owns
That's the man who I couldn't think of the name of.
Yeah, he's the largest.
He's the largest shareholder in Coca-Cola, yeah.
Largest shareholder in Coca-Cola, and the rest is a public, so loads of thousands, millions of people own bits of it. But do you know how Coca-Cola was named, allegedly?
No.
It was named from Coke, as in Coke.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine,
yeah.
And the cola plant. Cola was spent K-O-L-A. It was spelt K-O-L-A, but now he turned it into C-O-L-A.
Yeah.
And that's where it went. Now this information is coming from the Sun, so please bear that in mind. But Cristiano Ronaldo wiped 5 billion off of Coke's market value after he removed 2 bottles of a fizzy drink, and he said, "Drink water," and then Coke's share price went from £39.80 And what? 39? Oh, from £39.80
And
to
it's in the
£39.99.
sun, isn't it?
Hey?
It's in the sun, you know. Do you
Yeah,
really
exactly.
believe anything in the sun?
Well, I went to Wikipedia first and it
The
didn't answer my
date.
question. So what the question is then, what is the share price for Coca-Cola now?
So it was 39.80.
Yeah, hold on.
It-
Coca-Cola Company.
Wow.
It's exciting, isn't it? Eh? So let me go back to where are we at the moment? We're $54.6.
Yeah.
Hey Siri. What? Hey Siri, come on, wake up. Hey Siri. What is $54 in GBP? It's so exciting, this stuff, isn't it? When it bloody works. Hey Siri. What is $54.6 in GBP? Right, this is where I say sod you, Siri, you bloody useless thing. So yeah,
Get your calculator out.
hey?
Get a calculator out or a paper and pencil. Do a bit of long division.
Hey, Google. What
$54
is
in
$56?
pounds.
38.7.
$56 equals £40.06.
Thank
Are
you,
you
right?
everybody. Okay, so
basically it's had, apart from people who were shorting it or whatever, it's back to where it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
all good.
Happy days.
Did we talk about Boris Johnson yesterday? No, we didn't. No, I don't think we will either. And we're not talking about Nicola Sturgeon, so we're being fair there. But the Welsh guy seems to be doing a sterling job, so we're not going to talk about him.
Who does?
Northern Ireland, I mean, the G7, any thoughts on G7 last weekend?
Um,
There was an awful lot of leftover food, which was given to the local food bank.
yeah.
5,000 meals worth.
I don't think the American president performed very well.
Oh, Christ. I've got to go and get a coffee, boys.
Yeah.
Uh,
For what I've seen, I think that man is ill. And he's got minders there pushing everybody out. Oh, no, that's it. It's finished. Yet the last president, they threw every question at him.
Yeah, well.
Okay,
Corinda, the
moving on.
answer's really simple. It stands for Group of 7.
Sorry, John? Can you repeat that, please, John?
Said it stands for Group of 7.
Yeah.
It used to be Group of
Okay.
8 until Putin went into
Yeah.
Crimea or somewhere, and he got kicked off.
Well,
Did you see the press conference for Putin where a US reporter asked him all sorts of pointed questions like, "Do you kill your political opponents?" And it was the first time I'd actually seen him not answer the question and fluffing all over the place. It was just bizarre. But yeah, there you go.
Well,
I'm not going to get dragged down that rabbit hole.
so that answers Corinda's question. There's a G3, a G7, a G10, a G20.
Yeah, it's just a way of keeping track of
Different
different
countries are
organizations.
attending the meeting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. So, given that we've not done any stories, we're doing quite well. Back to the BBC then. See if we can find anything over there that's not going to be controversial. No, we can't find anything that's not going to be controversial. It's more. Yeah.
Who's going to be the next manager of Everton? I say Liverpool because that was a bit of a play on the fact that it looks like it's going to be the former Liverpool manager.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, anyone got any thoughts?
Nope. No, it's not the football season yet. I just feel strange. The Europe 2020 has a fantasy football league, which I joined, of course. Yeah, I'm waiting for the real thing to come back there. Hopefully with crowds as well, because that makes a heck of a difference. Okay, shout out to a Scotsman this week. And the Scotsman is named Andy. He plays a bit of tennis. And he came back this week and he actually won in the first round. So we should be able to see him at Wimbledon this year. And he does it because he loves it. He loves playing. He's not, obviously won't reach the heights again, but he actually enjoys doing it, which is good. Yeah, that sounds to everybody. So I'm going to take the floor to myself. Yesterday was a very special day in the household. We travelled down to London and Angelica went to the German embassy and after nearly 3 years regained her German citizenship. So she's now a citizen, a British citizen and a German citizen. And whatever happens, a member of the EU and immune from any rules that Britain should put down, because she can just use the German passport and escape across to that Europe anytime that she likes. When she took British nationality, she had to give up her German nationality. So she had to fight to get it back. And it was hard work, but tenacity and money and time. And yes, it was.
That leave you if she says, right, I'm going away to Germany for a week. Are you coming? What happens with you?
Basically, I just got to fit in with English regulations and go. So I will have to fill in the form and what have you, because we'll be staying. That's it. This has had an effect on twinning, because now with twinning, you go from the UK and you visit France and Germany and you stay in somebody's house.
Yeah.
There are a new set of rules in France which says, okay, if you're going to host somebody from Britain, specifically from Britain,
yeah,
then 5 weeks before they're due to arrive, you got to apply for permission to do it. Yeah. And we talked about this last week, and it just beggars belief. So to answer your question, Peter, I'll just take my British passport and I'll have to go in one queue, and Angelica can go in another queue.
Well, tell them the news. Well, tell them the news that I got.
Yeah, go on. You tell it.
No, I've been asked if I'd like to see how to apply for an Irish passport. Because in certain instances, because your great-grandparents are Irish, there may be ways of getting it.
What's the benefit of that, Pete?
I'll tell them
not a money-making scheme for a scammer.
Yeah.
My sister used to have dual nationality. She's not with us anymore, I'm afraid. She passed away several years ago from cancer. But she lived in Canada, was married to a Canadian fella, so she had a Canadian passport and a British passport. And she travelled on both. And when she came into the UK, she used a UK passport. And when she went home, she used a Canadian passport. So she was fast-tracked through.
But I was telling Stephen, the reason I would apply for one is if there was a terrorist and they says, show us your passports, and they say, I give you, and they say, it's British. I say, no, it's an Irish one, mate, sorry. You're not giving me.
You'll get out of jail free card, Peter.
If you encounter a terrorist with a machine gun or a gun of some form, he isn't going to ask you for your passport. He's either going to threaten you or actually kill you. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Ahmed, the dead terrorist? Jeffrey Dunham.
That's about 10 years old, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah, but he's still there. Yeah, my man in Portugal plays that all the time.
Oh, dear.
Marco, I kill you. When he went over to Malaysia to do his act, he
Oh,
was
God.
told at the last minute he wasn't allowed to use the name. He had to change the name completely.
It was funny, I must admit.
I kill you.
Oh, dear.
Aye.
Better be going soon, sunshine, I think.
So, oh, it went dull outside. What's happening?
Sun's gone in.
Yeah.
The sun never
Mm.
came out here. It's been overcast since about
Do you know-
6 o'clock.
The other day I was out walking and I just thought, this is just like being in Spain or somewhere hot and getting up early. I like early mornings and just walking about. And it's so, I need a holiday. Do you need a
We all
holiday?
do.
I need a
Yeah,
holiday.
indeed. I mean, that's basic getting away for a few days
Yeah.
would be good. I heard Cornwall's quite good at this time of year.
Can't
Proud,
get
I think is the word.
Yeah.
what's going
Right,
for
I better be off, boys, and I will speak to you very, very soon next week.
Take care.
Okay, bye, Stephen.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, it's nearly time for us to go too. Just to say that there will be an Inspired Burn video today. Our series is on at 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 a.m. Eastern. There will be the new music show tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the UK, 12 p.m. Eastern, where I shall be playing music and talking to guests, because we can do that from the Be Live studio. Got the technology sorted out, no echoes, no nothing.
And you can give me a link when you go
Well,
on.
you've got the link. You've got a link to come in the studio. The link to my account on Mixcloud is the same every week, but I'll send you the link again. It's the same link. It doesn't move anywhere. Yeah, it's always on the same page.
John, I like it, Fred. I like the music that's played. Are you building up an audience with it yet?
Sorry?
Have you got an audience, more people coming in?
Yeah, we had 6 live viewers on Monday, so it's going nicely. I mean, I do it because I enjoy it. I mean, that's the main thing. It's me winding down for the weekend, so that's a win anyway.
Yeah.
People are joining in, and people took part in the pop quiz on Monday.
Yeah.
Which was good, and we got some new people guessing.
That's good.
And yeah,
because the thing is, you put on music sometimes I've forgotten about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can dig through the catalogue and just decide. I mean, given I've got over 2,000 songs in the repertoire.
Yeah.
I need about 10, 15 of those. Right, John, it's over to you.
Well, it's from him up there and him down there and me in the middle and Stephen, who's already left us in Stoke.
He went part-timer.
Anyway, it's goodbye from all of us. 283 next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
That's